Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Saturday. It is November 22nd, and today is the actual start of the race week over at Del Mar. We didn't have racing on Friday, so Saturday does start their card. Now they're projected to run today, Saturday, tomorrow, Sunday, and then also a card on Monday. So the Monday day is going to make up for the loss of yesterday on Friday. So they will still have a 3-day week and have a special Monday racing. So just take note of that. I'll be looking through the Monday card and see if we can pick out some winners out of there. But let's get started on Saturday here. So Del Mar does start an earlier post time for their fall meet. They do start at 12:30 Pacific time, so that's 2:30 here in the Central Time Zone. Going to skip over the first race. I've got 3 win bets that I'm going to make throughout the day today, and we are going to get started in the second race. Now, the second race has an approximate post time about 1 o'clock Pacific, so that's 3 o'clock here, Central Time Zone. This is a $10,000 claimer for horses non-winners of 2 in their lifetime, 3-year-olds and up, and this is a mile on the dirt. And I do have a win bet that I want to make here in this race, that being on the 3-horse with City of Angels. Now, City of Angels comes out of the Mike Pipey barn. He puts Kazushi Kimura on the horse. And, this horse, I've used the term Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and yeah, that would be this horse. We can apply that term to this horse. City of Angels, is a Calbred by City of Light, so very nice breeding there. They spent a lot of money on this horse, paid $260,000 on him, and things didn't work out there, to what they had hoped for. So he's running in for 10 now. And I've also used another term as a panic drop. I don't see that this is a panic drop here. This horse is a 5-year-old gelding, and he's pretty lightly raced, having only 12 starts. So, it looks to me like this horse is had some issues getting to the track this year. They did kind of just got realistic. They put this horse in for $25,000. He's run for $25,000 a couple times. He's run some even races, hasn't run poorly. I think, they're just looking for a spot where he could win. And, if they lose him, they lose him. So, $10,000 looks to be suitable here based on who he is and how he's running in his races this year. So, he's had a couple starts at Del Mar on the dirt this year. One at 6 furlongs, ran an even race that day. They put him at a mile in a Cal allowance race. I thought he ran another even race there. Looks like they were looking for another claiming race. They got a claiming race, 6.5 on the grass at Santa Anita, that being the flat grass. Just ran another even race there. So, I think dirt probably, will be fine for this horse, and also running a mile should be fine for this horse. I'm thinking he'll work out a nice trip, probably in behind Naismith, and then you've got the horse on the outside, Typhoon Tommy, who shows a lot of speed. I don't know if either of those horses will stick around. I think that City of Angels should work out a nice trip, and this mile race should suit him well, and this level looks like it should suit him well as well. And I guess the curiosity will be, is anyone going to jump in and claim this horse for $10,000? So that's just curiosity, because we're horse players, so claiming whether a horse gets claimed or not is really not too important to us. But 5-2 on the horse. I think we'll probably get somewhere around here. Kazushi Kimura should put a good ride on this horse. So in the second race, we're going to bet the 3-horse, City of Angels. So we're going to skip over the next few races and go over to the 6th race of the day. 6th race is another condition claimer. This is a $25,000 claiming race. Horses non 2 wins in their lifetime, and these are 3-year-olds and up. And I like the fact they're putting these horses at 7 furlongs. I wish Del Mar and Santa Anita would use their 7 furlong shoot more often. Just seems like, they're running sprints or they're going a mile and, run these 7 furlong races. You might see some competitive races and, create some nice betting opportunities. So I do like the fact that it's a 7 furlong race. We don't see them all that often. They don't card them, but I just hope that maybe this is a thing to come where, maybe we can avoid those mile races where it just seems like those horses all run like a merry-go-round. And maybe these 7 furlong races, as I mentioned, might shape up better, might, produce better opportunities with betting and prices. So be that as it may, they are running 7 furlongs on the dirt, as I mentioned. I've got a win bet I want to make here in this 6th race. That being on the 5-horse, Exington. Exington comes out of the Jamie Thomas barn. Now, this horse previously was with Stephen Miotti, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there that Thomas takes over. But Maldonado takes the call here. Now, this horse, I like this horse today because they're running 7 furlongs. I think 7 furlongs will suit a horse like Exington really well. He's run at several different tracks. He's tried different surfaces. This horse has really tried it all. His lone win comes at Turfway Park at a mile on the synthetic. And, he broke his maiden in a restricted maiden special weight there earlier this year. So, seeing this horse's races and watching this horse film, I think this horse is going to love that last furlong. And I think he'll be finishing up when some of these other horses may not be liking that. So I think Maldonado puts this horse in a good spot. There is some speed in this race. Maybe we'll see the two-horse Headstrong Ways possibly leading them. Headstrong Ways is a decent horse. I just don't know if he's going to like that 7th furlong. So, as I mentioned, I do like it that they're going that distance. I think it's going to bode well for the 5-horse Exington. I'm seeing a 4-1 program price here. We'll probably see something like that, and I think it's worth a win bet here in the 6th race on the 5-horse Exington. Now we're going to go to the next race here. That's being the 7th race, and that's my best bet of the day. This is the horse that I'll be waiting for here. This is a 6.5 furlong dirt race. And this is a first-level California allowance race for 3-year-olds and up. And there's also that $20,000 claim option. So that, is because of that claim option, we've got some horses in there that are running for that claim. So I've got a horse here that I really like, and I'm going to make a win bet, that being on the 3-horse, Timekeeper's Charm. Now, you might recall I've talked about this horse before. I've given this horse out a couple times. I really like this horse, this Calbred. This horse is by Not This Time, which, you don't see a whole lot of Not This Times, in the Calbred ranks. So I think that's really nice that these breeders, the owner breeder, Michael Ryan, sent his mare over to Kentucky to breed to Not This Time. Now this mare, I know that she's had two offspring to start. Her younger brother broke him. I don't know. I don't think it was he won a claiming race last week at Del Mar on the dirt. So not exactly sure the quality of this mare, but they must have felt enough where they sent her to Not This Time. But I do like her races, and this horse looks to me like it should be on the improve. Based off her last 2 races, she had a nice second in a pretty fast maiden special weight at Lost Out, and then she ended up breaking her maiden in a pretty nice way over at Santa Anita. Now, she has run over the Del Mar surface earlier this summer. She got beat by Crystal Clean, who's also in this race, but as I mentioned, in watching the film for Timekeeper's Charm, I feel like this horse is improving, and I think that 6.5 should be no problem. Going longer should even be no problem here. So, based on how this race sets up here with the post and the post positions and the horses in here, I'm guessing Pereira probably puts the horse on the lead or right up close. Now, Pereira is familiar with this horse. He rode this horse in her first 4 starts. Pereira had to go to the bench. He ended up getting injured during the Del Mar summer meet, but he's back on this horse. And let's face it, Tiago Pereira's riding really well these days. He's having a really nice Del Mar meet, and he certainly has won some, gotten some winners for Steve Knapp, who trains this horse. So I really expect a big improvement for Timekeeper's Charm. I think, that we might see some nice things going forward from her as well. But let's get this first level allowance win first before we start talking about stakes action. 4-1 on this horse. I could see us getting somewhere around there. There's going to be some other horses getting bet on. It looks like, the program favorite is the 7 Crystal Clean, who has beaten Timekeeper's Charm. You also have a horse with some more experience, and Don't You Forget has, some good races over at Del Mar, so that horse can get played as well. But I just feel like Timekeeper's Charm with the breeding by Not This Time, I think this horse has more to offer, and I think today's the day that she will offer that up. So we're going to make a win bet on the 7, in the 7th race on the 3, Timekeeper's Charm. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the bets. Okay, so for Saturday, November 22nd, over at Del Mar, we've got 3 win bets to make throughout this card. And we're going to start out in the 2nd race. 2nd race, we're going to bet the 3-horse, City of Angels. Move to the 6th race, the 5-horse, Exington. Move to the 7th race, the 3-horse. That's my best bet of the day, that being Timekeeper's Charm. So if you see fit, you want to make these win bets, I wish you the best of luck. If you want to add these horses, include these horses in your multi-race wagers, they got a pick 6 carryover. Some of these races, that I've selected are in that pick 6. I wish you the best of luck. Whatever you decide to do, let's wish the folks over at Del Mar a very safe day of racing today for Saturday. Let's wish ourselves some great luck and some great trips. That always is important at Del Mar. So as always, I thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today and listening to the picks. I hope we can get this race week started at Del Mar on a Saturday in a good fashion. And, thanks again for watching. Thanks to everybody who's hit the subscribe button. You can always like, dislike, make comments. I promise to respond to everything, and let's create a discussion. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It delivers the content to you. Let's make this a great day, and I hope you have a great Saturday. We will be back for more coverage on Sunday at Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. Thank you.